Quick correction before we start this video. I realized at the end of this, and I was actually thinking it throughout, I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I continued to refer to the husband as David when his name is Michael in the film. Because I was comparing this film to Fear, and Mark Wahlberg's character is David McCall in that. For some reason, I got him mixed up in my head. So ignore me saying David throughout. His character is Michael Bartel. I apologize. On with the review. Alright, a movie that I have been wanting to do on the channel forever and ever and ever, and I cannot believe we haven't done, but I'm kind of glad we haven't, because the new Remake comes out today. We will be watching. We have yet to watch The Hand That Rocks the Cradle Remake, which is currently available to watch. We'll probably watch it right after this. But I wanted to talk about this before we watched it, and we watched this last night. This is actually the second time Kaylee's seen this. I actually showed it to you,
yes,
and we were gonna review it then, and we didn't for some weird reason. I thought we did, and when I went to check and it wasn't there, I was like, oh, okay. You know, so for some reason we did do this, like in some like compilation video that I don't remember. Let us know. But regardless, we're going to give it its own video because it deserves it. This is definitely my favorite of the 90s obsession thrillers. Now, I guess you could consider Misery an obsession thriller of the 90s.
Yeah, Misery is probably the best.
That's a better movie for sure, but this is the one I watch more, so this is my preferred of the two, even though I do, believe that Misery is the best obsession thriller of all time. I think it's one of the great movies of all time. But I just love this one. I always have. It's something I grew up with. I've seen it probably 50 freaking times at this point. I mean, I watched it a lot as a kid growing up, so I just gotta talk about it. I think Rebecca De Mornay is like one of the all-time great villains of 90s thrillers. You know, up there with an Annie Wilkes. I think she is perfectly charming and deceptive and sociopathic and conniving, and she just kind of embodies everything perfectly. She's sexy, she's scary, she's evil, she's believably sweet, right? She plays into the family very well. She knows how to play. Like, I don't know. I think this is very well written.
Yeah.
Speaking of writing and even directing, so the director of this also directed The River Wild, which we recently just watched with Meryl Streep.
Kind of another, well, not really, I guess. It's not really an obsession thing.
It's a 90s thriller.
But it's definitely a 90s thriller.
Yeah, very good film.
Really good.
Don't know if we covered, I don't think we covered that on the channel.
I don't think we did.
But I did cover the remake when that came out.
Oh, did you? Okay. Yeah.
Back in the early 2020s.
Yeah, I really like The River Wild. I love the look and feel of it. I think Meryl Streep is like awesome in that movie.
Yeah.
Super. She looks a lot like my mom. So, yeah. I don't think I look like her, though, which is funny. But she looks like my mom.
He also directed L.A. Confidential, so like The River Wild, Hand That Rocks the Cradle, or actually I should say Hand That Rocks the Cradle, then River Wild, then L.A. Confidential. 3 really great films back to back, so good stuff there. And they also directed 8 Mile, which was kind of surprising when I was looking through the filmography, like, oh, that's random.
Yeah.
But there you go. Huh. The writer of this actually has went on to have a tremendous career in writing. She wrote 3 of the Planet of the Apes movies, Rise, Dawn, and The New Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Very cool.
She also wrote Jurassic World, and she also wrote Avatar 2 and 3.
Oh, awesome. So she's just got great storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild
to
see that she wrote Avatar 2 and 3. That kind of blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, oh, okay. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle chick went on to write the most, profitable freaking movies of all time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Good for her. I'm glad because, great stories, all of them.
Yeah. So, okay, the movie starts with just kind of like the literal, like, idyllic neighborhood
Yeah.
of like America.
Mm-hmm.
These houses are just beautiful.
So pretty.
The scenery, everything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell they live.
They're
It's
in
like
Seattle, so they're
okay.
in the Pacific Northwest. They're in
It's
some neighborhood
just
in
incredible.
Seattle. Oh yeah.
What a beautiful.
Totally gorgeous. I mean, there's a reason I've always like wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest because yeah, they're just it's like. I mean, whether it looks the same now, obviously, you know, like 30 years later, who knows? But it is really, really pretty.
They say that in
Trees.
this movie where they live, Seattle. You
Yeah,
said?
it's Seattle. You even see the Seattle, like the Space Needle.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's for sure Seattle.
Yeah, for some reason I've just never. You know how when you watch movies a bunch when you're growing up, they're kind of on autopilot to you.
Yeah,
and you're really just kind of paying attention to the scenes that you love and this and that, and then somebody asks you a question and you're like, I've seen this movie 50 times.
Like, I don't
How
know.
have I never paid attention to these like smaller details like that?
Sure.
I don't know. Sometimes that happens and you're like, how do I not know that when I've seen this movie so many times? But yeah, I couldn't tell you where this was. But that makes perfect sense. This definitely does look like Seattle.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because like the Rebecca De Mornay in this movie has always reminded me somewhat of my stepmother growing up. My brother's mom, Gail. When she was young,
that's how she.
They have a similar look to them.
Interesting.
And she's from Seattle. So,
weird.
Funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So then we got the cutest little kid.
Oh my god.
Madeline Zima, who grew up to be a wonderfully beautiful woman, but she is like the most adorable kid.
Oh my god. Like just the cutest little girl.
She reminds me a decent amount of Matilda.
Yes, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
She looks a lot like Matilda. I don't know how old she is in this movie, but she gives a pretty good performance, I would say.
Yeah.
Like it's we've definitely seen like young kids performances that are kind of like remarkably good. But I think that she's just so cute and sweet in this, and then especially like at the end, like I think she does a really good job at this age. Yeah. Yeah, so she's one of my favorite parts. Of the movie.
She's been in a lot of stuff since this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I dig her as an actress. She's actually in Twin Peaks: The Return in that first episode when I was like, "Hey, Madeline Zima," remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, but anyway,
so
speaking of performances, I mean, I think a lot of praise is heaped on Rebecca De Mornay for her portrayal of Peyton here, and I think all of that is warranted for sure. I think she's fantastic. I already alluded to that, and you just mentioned that Madeline Zima as a child actor is very good. One of the better child performances I've seen. We got Julianne Moore in here.
Yeah. Who's always wonderful.
As Marlene, and I always love her. And Annabella, who plays our main character here. She's really good in this and everything. But I don't know, man. Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
In this might be my favorite performance of the film. I just think he's so wonderful in this movie as Solomon, the simple-minded, like contractor or helping
he's like
hand.
the handyman.
Handyman, that's a good way to call him. He's so perfectly wonderful in this. All of his performance in this is just top tier for me.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, his performance is really incredible, honestly. Like later in the film when the scene between him and Peyton when he catches her breastfeeding, just like his reaction during that and afterwards when he's crying and stuff, like it's just fantastic.
Yeah, when she confronts him and pushes him against the wall and all that stuff, and then she walks away and he's like, "I won't let you hurt them," and like he starts kind of crying. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, just incredible.
It's really wonderful.
One of the best scenes. I mean, it's my favorite scene in the movie just because I'm an asshole who seems to think like really intense language towards people in like the most awful ways imaginable is always like really fucking funny to me. And I know this is the 90s, and so like now it doesn't play very well.
Now it's like even worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
Like,
it's aged poorly
Yeah.
for a lot of people who are super sensitive and seem to always want to sanitize the past and language and whatever. But like the iconic line of "Don't fuck with me, retard"
She is so...
will always be one of my
Oh my
favorite line
God.
deliveries of any film ever, and will never ever not be funny to me.
Yeah.
As evil as it is, as fucked up as it is, as, you know, like frowned upon as language like that is today.
Well,
it's so fucking funny to me, and so evil.
It's so evil, it's so hurtful, and just like her, I mean, yeah, her performance in this, I know we already kind of talked about it, but like there's a really great subtlety to a lot of the things, but like when she's confronting him and is intimidating him, you know, when she says that to him and then like is kind of smiling afterwards and it's just like, my story's gonna be better than yours. You know, just she's so conniving. Yes. And so like just plays everyone, and she almost got away with it, but she doesn't, obviously.
Yeah, so as far as that goes, since we're on that topic of getting away with it, I do believe, you know, having watched this, there's new things I picked up on this watch, which is always the best part of doing these like more deeper dive analyses where I'm taking notes and really trying to pay attention, as opposed to the autopilot thing I was talking about before. Somehow I didn't catch what fucking city it's in though. But I was really trying to focus on character stuff because I didn't really give a shit what city it was in. But there's definitely things I caught, and you know, something that I was really thinking about this time is, had Claire died, would Peyton have been successful in getting her husband and the kids? Like, would David had fallen for Peyton in his grief, and she would have taken over the family? Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
The more I watched this time, I was really paying attention to like when Peyton comes to visit him at work, and she talks to him about throwing Claire this surprise birthday bash, and he's like, that's a really good idea, and he like, they get really close and she's smiling or whatever, and then she walks away, and he could have just went back to work, but no, he follows her out and watches her walk away. Yeah, he's interested in her.
Like the running joke, right, with his friend that comes over is like, you know, man, maybe we should have kids. Like, you have the hot, like, live-in nanny, right? Like, this is definitely a scenario for, like, porn videos and stuff, right? Like, there's a taboo-ness to it. And then there's also the fact that, like Julianne Moore, like Marlene says, right, it's the hand that rocks the cradle, like, rules the world. Like, don't let a woman into a power position into your home. And it is this, like, kind of perfect, like, you know, this lady is raising the kids. Yeah. She's making dinner. She's beautiful. You know, she's not necessarily, like, super younger than the wife is or anything, but,
they're the same age.
She's got, like, this, like, a chicness to her, right? Like, she's a little bit more refined, like, you know, maybe more stylish in some ways than the wife is. Like, you know, she just had a baby, and like she's much more focused on like her gardening and stuff. She's a little bit more down to earth and, you know, like earthy, and Peyton is very like elevated feeling, you know.
Well, sure, and, she's the wife of a fucking
this like rich doctor, and that comes through. So yeah, like the friend, Marlene's husband, is like all into her. The people at his office when she comes to visit are all kind of like, yeah, like his coworker is like, sure she's your nanny or whatever.
Well, sure, so, she's alluring.
Yeah, up until that point, for sure, like, he has an attraction, and she knows how to play people, like, especially men. Honestly, men and women. I don't know if it's one or the other, but, like, she uses her good looks, like, this is the femme fatale, right? Like, this is her using her sexuality and everything as a weapon. And you're right, if the wife had died with the asthma attack, I think 100% she would have taken over as the matriarch of the family without a hitch. I don't think, because the husband is not suspecting of her. He doesn't feel like anything's weird with her up until that point.
So, important note of what you're saying there, too, and this is something I really focus in on this time around, with her being that character who comes in and is able to use what she's got to get what she wants. You know, there's a conversation between her and the child, and they're in the bed together, and Emma, and she's like, you know, what about your mom? And this and she died when I was very young. Like, Peyton grew up an orphan. It's always the orphans, right? In these movies, like, if you don't have a good rearing, you know, growing up, it fucks you up. It makes you evil, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is, I think, true to her character, where she had to make her own way. You know, she's like, who raised you? Who took care of you? And she's like, I had to take care of myself. And that is an important line.
Well, and then also she tells the wife, like, my husband took care of me.
Sure, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So, like, she goes and she uses her attractiveness. This is something she was gifted. She's a beautiful woman. So she uses that to get this guy to take care of her. Now, this guy is a monster, and she seems like a total bitch when she's going to get the papers signed and whatever. This is like a loveless marriage from what I can tell, and he's just a means to an end and giving her the security that she never had as a child. But when it's all stripped from her, something she's worked her whole life to build a new family. She never got a family as a kid.
Right.
And then boom, it's all taken from her, from this girl who she looks into and seemingly has the life she never got to have, and she felt like she earned, and then this girl comes in and steals it from her. Sure,
there's a really great, like, early in the movie, you know, when she miscarries or whatever. Yeah. It's just interspersed with pictures of the other family, like, just having fun and loving each other. It's like all they need is a freaking dog, but they literally, you know, they have a very idyllic life. And, you know, more than anything, like, Peyton, like, you're right, like, she wants a family, like, she wants a baby. That's, like, what her, you know, everything was geared towards. Like, she wants to be the mom that she never had, right? And it is super tragic. Like, what happens to her is enough to make anybody have a mental breakdown. I mean, she finds out whether or not she knew, like, this is a question of, like, whether, like, did she know that her husband was molesting his patients?
Probably not.
Probably not. I don't think so. I think she's smart enough to figure it out, but I don't think that she, like, nobody had come forward. It's not like she was hanging around the office. Like, I don't see how she could have known,
I guess there's actually an interesting note here as well that I never really considered until right now while you're saying all of this, that there is some air of jealousy too, where technically in her mind, her husband picked Claire over her to assault and cheat with. Yeah. Right? So it's like, now I'm going to take your fucking husband. Not only did you get him to kill himself, but he chose you over me. You have everything. That
could be part of that.
And it's like, why would he finger you and feel you up and all of this shit when he has this to come home to?
Exactly. But yeah, it's the perfect storm. You know, she finds out her husband's molesting his patients. There's like this huge, like, you know, a public outcry, you know, public attention around it. Yeah. And then he kills himself. Yeah. And she doesn't get any of the money because the estate is going to have to pay off all these, you know, women that have been assaulted. Yeah. And then she, you know, loses her baby.
She loses
so it's like, she literally loses everything. And
her name is trashed because it's attached to a guy who was molesting his patients, and everyone's going to be like, it's always like, how you should have known if you didn't. Or like, you pick a horrible Her life is fucked.
It's horrible. It is actually very sad what happens to her, and it does, like, I think, you know, when we see her in the hospital and she's watching the news and she first sees, you know, the image, that is like that I think is when she literally has her mental breakdown. Like, you can see the wheels start to turn as she's thinking of, like, how am I going to get this woman? And then obviously it's flash forward to 6 months and she's becoming the nanny and everything. So, yeah, you know, I think what's really great about this is, you know, we know, you know, and not every thriller necessarily does this, but we're aware of her villainous intentions. So, like, going through things when she's talking to the little girl, when she's talking to Emma, and she's like, oh, he, you know, finds out that he dated, that the dad dated Marlene, you know, and she, like, stores that for later.
Oh, yeah.
The secret thing where she's, like, getting her to tell her secrets, and which I know you, like, the one thing she does good that you were really happy about is how she handles the bully.
Oh my god.
Which is, like,
it's the best shit. It's the only thing that I am 100% on board
Scary,
with
man.
for her.
marches right over
Anybody
there.
fucking did that to my kid, the way she grabs that kid, I
she,
know
like,
a lot of
twists his
people
arm.
think that's wrong. Fuck that little kid. He'll never learn any other way. I've talked about this on the channel plenty of times. I think there is a time for, like, talk, right? And I think that there's a time for physical intervention.
Well, and it sounds like
And a kid like that, dude, he does
Yeah.
not listen to anything else. I'm sorry, it's just not realistic.
Well, 'cause
there are
it's-
people you can talk to and
Yeah.
are at that place where it's like you can get through to them with words and punishments and whatever that aren't but with a kid like this who gets off on bullying other kids all around school, yeah, you need to look into what's going on at his house, because I'm sure he's being bullied by his parents and whatever, and that's terrible, and that should be resolved. But unfortunately, a kid like that does have to be belittled and pushed down and seen as small again. And I know people will disagree with me on this, and I'm not even 100% sure I'm right. But I just, in that moment, you're just like, listen, you little motherfucker.
it is very, very funny.
It's a fist pump moment for me.
But, and it does sound like, that Emma's mom, like, that she did try and, like, help, maybe talk to a teacher or something, but, like, nothing has stopped it. And, yeah, I mean, I think you're right with bullying. I think usually there's a cause at home that is, like, if you fixed that, I think that they wouldn't be inclined to be as mean.
Yeah.
But in movies and stuff, it is always very invigorating when you see a bully kind of getting the comeuppance or whatever. But she's terrifying. I mean, there's just so many moments, like, the first interaction she has with Solomon, when he, like, reaches out to shake her hand and he gets, like, a little bit of paint on her.
Oh my God.
And she just, like, jerks her hand away and gives him this ridiculously, like, venomous look.
Yeah, she breaks character here and there.
Very
but
fast.
She, like, goes right back to the facade
Anybody
very quickly.
can have an accident.
That's such a great line.
That's crazy.
Right? It's not that...
The implication there.
Yeah. Anybody can have an accident is such a specific way of wording it.
Yes, and she does that quite a lot.
Yes.
She's very smart. And yeah, obviously Solomon, like, sees immediately, like, oh, you're not who you say you are. Like, I can tell. And I think, if the mom had seen that, I think they would have had the same exact reaction, because it's like, it isn't very subtle, like, what she does there. It's a very immediate and, like, intense reaction. So
yeah, I feel like if Claire would have seen her face in that moment, she would have probably been like, okay, like, we'll call you, don't call us.
Yeah.
But she doesn't, and she gets away from it. There's a couple moments in this where she breaks character, right? Just for a second, but then she morphs right back into it. Another great scene is when Marlene comes to the house and confronts her, and she's like, calls her Mrs. Mott. And you can see the anger in the, like, she figured me out, like, rage in her face for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then she immediately morphs into, like, the conniving,
like,
and
please don't tell,
oh no,
and
like,
and even
I'm so weak, and please, you have so much over me. And Claire's actually out in the greenhouse. Good thing she had that thing rigged.
Oh my God. Even though, yes, I think you're right, there is, like, let me, like, connive and be, whatever. I also think, like, what we see, so we see the rage, and then I think immediately after we see this, like, it is, like, a genuine, like, sorrow of, like, I was so close. Like, I almost had what I wanted again, like, you found out, and then she does the, like, okay, let me play along and pretend to be, like, stupider than I am. But Marlene, I feel like, kind of, I mean, from the beginning, Marlene is very suspicious of her when she comes down, because obviously, Claire has this really beautiful red dress, like, she looks really sexy, and it's just, like, she's gorgeous, and Peyton, like, spills her perfume on it so that there's a perfume stain. But then when she goes down and Marlene is there, Marlene's like, oh, like, you're wearing her perfume, because she smells it on her hands, like, that she spilled it.
Poison.
Which is the name of the perfume, which is
great. But the
great.
way she says it is like, you're poison.
Yes. And then obviously the conversation, which we already talked about, where she kind of is sort of jokingly warning Claire about it. But,
What I think it's great about Peyton as a villain is that in these types of films, there's always plot convenience for their plans to go perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? And with this movie, a lot of her plans, or not, I shouldn't say a lot, but a couple of her plans do not go the way she expects them to, but it's that she works on the fly to make them work in her favor.
Yeah.
Right? Where she has the greenhouse set for Claire, and then when Marlene comes to confront her, she's like, in the moment, she's like, fuck, I'm exposed. And then she immediately goes back to the drawing board in her head and comes up with a, plan B. And she's able to work on the fly in the moment to be like, okay, I'll get her to go out here and kill herself, right? And then I will go and I'll take out her asthma inhalers. I'll get the baby. Yeah. I'll leave the house. Now, what her plan was, there's a little bit of convenience here because obviously Claire carries one in her purse.
Yeah.
And it's like she wouldn't immediately just go for her purse. There's a lot of, things that have to go right for that to work.
Yeah.
So that's a little silly. I would have liked to have seen her snake the asthma inhaler or fuck with that one while she was out in the world, because if she's out in the world and it malfunctions, she's screwed because she's nowhere near her house. She doesn't have any more of them, so she should have sabotaged the one in her purse, right? Just in case, right? And then that would have worked for the other scene to come, because Claire probably should have just had the one on her for the purse. That is one of the conveniences, but I do love how Peyton is able to kind of call audibles when the moment happens.
Yes, I think I agree with you in terms of like the convenience, but I think that it also is a believable mistake because Claire sees this really awful thing and drops her purse and is going into the house to call the police, and like that's when her asthma starts kicking in, so she's already inside, she's panicking, and of course she's in her mind thinking I have all these other inhalers throughout the house. So it's like, I think it's believable enough, but Peyton wouldn't obviously know that would be what happens, right? Like it does play out in a way that's realistic, I would say. The way that Peyton, whenever Marlene dies, when she's like eating the apple while she just like looks outside and is just
totally
so dead inside about it, and good stuff there.
It's also a good discussion between Claire and Peyton about her husband. Yeah. And she was like, he was murdered. Right. And what goes around comes around.
Because she does think that he was murdered.
That's what I really paid attention to this time. She genuinely feels like she murdered her husband.
Yeah, totally.
And now I'm going to murder you. Yeah. And take your husband. Right. Yeah. I'm just gonna supplant myself right in your life. I'm just taking your life over. I got to get you out of the way. And then I can take your husband and your children.
I don't know if that's always her intention from the beginning. Like, I think she initially probably is like, I'm just going to go kill her or the baby. I agree. Then when she sees it, I think it does become the plan. Which, again, is like what we're talking about. Like, her ability to kind of be fluid and change things on the fly is what makes her such a good villain.
She's a chameleon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she adapts to her situation, and I agree with you. I don't think she comes with the intention of taking her husband and her children from her. I think she comes in to fuck her life up. But then when she meets David and she falls in love with Emma and Joe, she's like, you know what? I can just take this shit from her. Yeah. Right? As soon as she kind of starts to get David's attention, then it's like, you know what? I think I'm just going to push your ass out of this family. Yeah. Right, and I'm just gonna take over this life for you. So I agree. I don't think that's her intention going in, and I actually don't like the tagline of this movie, which is "Revenge is her only desire." Maybe when she arrives.
Yes.
But that is not how it remains throughout the movie. Yeah. Her intention and her desire is to take her family from her, and it's not revenge as much as it's replacement, right? She feels like she was gypped and she wants back what she had. Yeah. Right? So, all right, sorry, we had to take a quick pause, but we're back. So, yeah, I mean, all of the, like, little evil things that she does, like, taking his proposal and tearing it up and making Claire look like she was incompetent. The first thing she does, of course, is take the earring and make it seem like the baby would choke on it, and that she's an incompetent mother. It's all about making Claire incompetent and crazy, right? Yes. She convinces her that he's having an affair with Marlene. Of course, it perfectly works out for her. where she comes, he comes home and she's like, "You're fucking Marlene," as
Oh my
everyone's
God.
in the room next door.
So awkward for sure.
It's, yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, what she
It's a
ends up
lot, for
doing to
sure.
her, it makes it look really bad.
And maybe the biggest thing is that she is like breastfeeding the baby.
Oh my God.
And the baby is like, now I don't know if this is what happens. Maybe it would, because I've never had a baby, so I don't know. But like, the baby just straight up doesn't want to like drink from Claire anymore.
Well,
And
sure.
I guess it's because it's just so used to Peyton
She thinks
that
Peyton's
Peyton's
his
like mom. I mean, there's literally like a scene like later where Peyton hands Joe to Claire and he's crying, or Marlene holds him, he's crying. Claire takes him, he's still crying, and then Peyton takes him and he's like calm and fine because I guess he's just like seeing her as mom. It's very messed up. I mean, you even said it very well. Like, so after she goes to the hospital with her asthma attack, when she comes home, she feels like a stranger in her own home. Like, she kind of comes downstairs and she hears all of them. Like, there's this scene of, her husband, Emma and Peyton, and they're all like on the floor, like playing Go Fish or something, playing some kind of card game. They're all laughing, and it's like very cozy. And she just kind of goes upstairs, and Peyton like does see her come down, and she just has like such an evil little smile, like, yeah, you are getting replaced.
Yeah, right. What she does to Solomon is definitely like the hardest thing in the movie to watch.
Yes,
where she plants evidence on him to make him look like he's molesting their child, and plants the seed of doubt, right? Because that's just it. This is one of those things where this is such a sensitive topic of like, once that accusation is made, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's always people that are going to be like, I don't know. Like, why was that thrown at you? So somebody could absolutely ruin your life by making an accusation if it's completely ill-founded.
Not only is that like, maybe every parent's worst nightmare is like that your kid's being molested, but also the fact that the way she tells, like the way that she plants the seed in Claire's mind really perfectly mirrors Claire's own experience with getting molested, where she comes home and tells her husband, like, the way he was touching me, like, was sexual. It was erotic. He was getting off on it. And Peyton, she doesn't have necessarily any way to know that this is what Claire said, but she says it like, I don't like the way he touches her. Which is instantly, like, as a mom and as someone who was, like, recently sexually assaulted, like, it very much triggers her. And then so finding the underwear in there is just like, of course she'll believe it, which it is very sad, because Solomon is like, he's afraid of Peyton. Like, that's the only reason he doesn't speak up then, I think, is just because he's terrified of her.
Well, she also convinces him, like, my story will be better. He doesn't think he has the mental competency to say something that she's not going to be able to push back, and they're going to believe her over him.
Now,
he's probably right.
If he had come, I don't know, if he had come to Claire before the underwear was planted, and was like, I saw her breastfeeding the baby.
He's not. He doesn't have the facilities to make those kinds of
I know,
decisions.
but I do think that would have at least put some type of warning.
Yeah.
Because I think even at that point, Claire is starting to feel like something's off, and like, I don't know when this happens, but she tells her husband, like, let's go away, like, everything has kind of gotten worse since she's come. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, she's great. Yeah. She does all these things for us.
It's you that's gotten worse.
Yeah.
Stop trying to blame it on Peyton. I mean, he doesn't say that, but that's kind of the implication, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, are you sure it's not you that's gotten worse? And Peyton's just made our life easier.
Right.
Yeah, so everything with that, it is kind of surprising, because I don't know if they think he molested her or not, or if he just has a thing for her. Yeah. Right? I don't know. The fact that they give him the bicycle, don't press charges, and the fact that he's working somewhere else very shortly thereafter.
Like they let him keep the bicycle, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, because they buy him a bicycle.
Yeah,
Right, and it's like they let him take it. David doesn't seem mad at him when he's saying goodbye to him.
He just seems kind of shocked, and I can only assume that they don't think that he actually touched her inappropriately, like sexually, but just that he maybe was working up to it. It is weird the way that's handled, but what also sucks about all this is the way that Emma is implicated, because Peyton tells her, your mom didn't like Solomon. Like, she sent him away because she just doesn't like him. Like, I can't talk up, or she'll send me away. Like, and I don't want to go anywhere. And this really makes a huge divide. So not only is Claire, like, having issues with her baby and, like, not feeling connected with her baby, but she's also now not feeling connected with her other child, you know, and is, like, complaining and saying, like, she's distant and she's angry. And it's like, yeah, every time, you know, Claire will run off to Peyton, or Emma will run off to Peyton, I mean. Because she's just, like, she thinks of her as a friend and, like, a kind of surrogate mom in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. Actually, probably one of the most insane and maybe unbelievable things in this movie to me is when David comes downstairs and sees Peyton picking ice up off the floor and putting it back in the tray to put it right back in the freezer.
I don't know if I noticed that the first time we watched it, but I sure as hell noticed it this time. And I was just like, what is she doing? Like, it's on even the clean ground, even, like, okay, it's mopped daily. No way. You would just put it in the sink and, like, the ice maker would make new ice.
Correct.
Super weird that she, like, scoops it up and puts it into the tray again. Or it's not even a tray. It's like it's literally like an automatic ice maker. Like, it's like the bin that the ice falls into.
Yeah.
Super weird. So it's one thing, because I guess if she was being lazy, like, if you fill up an ice tray and she didn't want to, like, refreeze the ice, then I guess that would be something, but that's not the case. Like, the refrigerator will just make the ice.
He doesn't make any mention of it.
It's because he's, like, distracted by her booty.
I get that, but it's such a weird scene to write.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, no one on the set was like, who's putting the ice back in this container off the floor?
Maybe it's just something they did in the 90s.
And just throwing it back in the freezer. That's
it's super weird.
So weird to me.
Gross.
No one on set was like, why is she putting it back in the freezer? Wouldn't she put it in the sink? Right? Like,
she can put it back in the container to then dump in the sink.
Yeah.
But she puts it back in the freezer. It's so weird.
So weird.
Yeah,
so gross.
He's like,
he should have been like, that's villainous.
Yeah.
But no, he's like, I want to fuck that ass.
Yeah, he's like ogling her pretty hard there. And again, you know, like, they have, like, a sexually charged moment where she's very much playing, but she's playing super innocent. She's not like, her seduction of him is not, like, full on, like I don't want to say vulgar, but it's not like intense. Like, she's playing, like, I'm the sweet little nanny that lives in your home, and, like, I'm so fuckable.
I'm stuck
and,
in
like,
the dryer.
Oh, yeah,
Help.
like that kind of thing. Like, that's what she's playing, and she does it well. Like, it feels innocent. It feels, like, natural.
Yeah.
And all of that, you know. So.
Yeah.
Feel bad for him. He gets his legs broken at the end.
He
Sucks.
Does. I thought it was a funny, interesting little note here that the properties that Marlene is currently working on in this movie, when she figures out Peyton's secret, is the Magnolia properties. Mm-hmm. Just thought that was cute. Yeah. A little cute connection to her career, since I think that's one of her best performances is in Magnolia. And then... yeah, I mean, we talked about all of this stuff. One thing I never noticed before is that when Claire pulls up to knock Peyton on her ass and over the table and everything, we see Solomon following them on the bike, right, as they're pulling away. So he's following them around because he's like, I'm not going to let you hurt him. But when Claire's parking her car, we can clearly see Solomon's bike parked against the fence in the foreground off to the side of the screen, and I never really noticed it. So Solomon's there, and that's like a little visual cue of, like, Solomon's around. I just, for some reason, never really thought about it, but I just saw the bike this time and I was like, hey, that's Solomon's bike. He's already there. He's, like, lurking. And let's see. And then...
Yeah, the punch is really phenomenal. Just flies across the table.
Great. And yeah, the ending. I mean, the ending is perfection.
Yes.
I love the ending. I love that Emma turns on her and she's like, she's right, you know, she plays into her hands and she's like, oh, Joe's in the other room. And she goes in there and she's like, you're not my mommy.
Oh, it's
and
so
like
great.
locks the door.
Locks the door on her, runs away.
And then Peyton actually like knocks through the door. Very Shining-esque. And funny enough, she plays Wendy Torrance.
Yeah. In
the Shining miniseries from '97, so I thought that was a fun little connection there.
Yeah.
If she's doing her Jack Torrance, and then they go up into the attic. She also like tricks her with the baby monitor to go in the other room to buy them time as Solomon takes Emma and Joe out the window. And then Solomon, of course, he's just not like a physical, like he doesn't try to physically assault Peyton.
He could easily overpower her.
Easily.
But he definitely is.
He just doesn't have that in him.
And he's not thinking like that. Like, I think, the only thing in his focus is like just protecting the kids and the baby. Like, he picks up the baby, he's holding it, and it's like, I'm not going to let you have it. And, you know, thankfully, like, because he has it in front, like, she's not going to risk hurting the baby to hurt him.
Because he's a child, right? In his mind.
That's
so he doesn't realize he has the strength of a man.
Exactly. He's very childlike. And, I mean, Peyton is just like, as you were saying, like, at this point, it's like, all she wants to do, I guess, now is like, she's like, okay, I kill the mom and the dad, and then I just steal the kids.
Yeah, I'm just
like,
gonna kidnap
which
them.
even is like, okay, Emma is too old. Like, she will remember her mom and like isn't gonna accept you. You could maybe steal the baby. Like, the baby's not gonna know anything. But, like, I don't think you can take Emma with you. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, she's young. I guess she could maybe like. It just is funny. But...
I don't know what her plan is because she doesn't have any money.
Right.
She doesn't have any resources. Yeah. She's just gonna head for the border. I don't think she's thinking clearly at that point. Yeah. She's just like, fuck it. As long
like
as Claire is dead, I'm happy.
At that point, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna what I originally meant to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, Claire does a great job at, you know, she comes in and they fight. She's got a knife. Peyton has like a
fire poker.
Yeah, which is like not well paired.
No.
But then Claire pretends to have an asthma attack.
Yeah.
She fakes her out with that. But you said it too, like, she does stop, like, right away. She's like, like, wheezing, and then the second she turns, she's like,
she stops,
silent.
which is stupid.
Yeah.
She should have continued to keep doing it, but that's for the audience, right?
It's just like, see?
And even Emma realizes and kind of smiles.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mom, you know, tricked her.
Yeah.
And it's like, why'd she stop instantaneously? That was stupid. But
funny.
As I said, it's like one of those, you know, artistic liberties you have to like do for the visual of the movie, and the audience is like, oh, she's faking it.
But yeah, I mean, her getting pushed out the window and landing on the picket fence.
Yeah.
The white picket fence is fantastic.
It's good symbolism.
Very good.
Right? The white picket fence is like symbolic for the perfect all-American family or whatever, and for her to be impaled by a symbol of the all-American family that she's been so longing for, I think is good imagery and good symbolism for this kind of story.
Yeah.
But yeah, her kind of like the shit she whispers to her, like when she's sitting there wheezing, and she's like, it's my face your husband sees when he fucks you, and you know, it's my breast that your baby drinks from, and at the end of the day, you can't even breathe.
Yeah.
Like, you're fucking useless, and I am better than you in every way.
Yeah.
And then I mean, she shoves her out the window. This is very much the ending of Fear with Mark Wahlberg, where he gets thrown out the window and impaled.
Yeah.
Very similar. But yeah, and then of course the whole like earlier in the movie, Solomon is like, he's not trusted, and you know, you can't touch the baby and this and that, and then she gives him the baby and it's like, I trust you, and it kind of ends on that.
Yeah.
Perfection.
Which is great. Yeah.
Perfection is that Solomon was like the caretaker all along.
Right.
that she could have trusted her kids with, and she was like, Solomon can't take care of you guys, and then she leaves them with a fucking mad woman.
I know.
So,
Which, you know, to be fair, Peyton wasn't really going to do anything to the kids, but you never know. She was still a crazy woman.
I'm glad that, you know, Claire had the intelligence to realize that it was probably Peyton
Right.
that did this to Solomon.
Yeah.
But I do wonder at any point in the future after that, she has to wonder, like, was Peyton responsible for planning those underwear? Or was that actually Solomon?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be just that she realizes, like, yeah, this woman was kind of playing everything.
Yeah.
She was very game mastery.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we don't even see her plant the underwear. So...
No, we know it's her.
kidding.
Because the look that she gives him when they go inside,
Yeah.
oof. She's just like, got you, like, bye.
No, I know. I'm kidding.
Evil.
No, Solomon definitely did not
definitely
do it.
did
But I
not.
do wonder if there is any point where they're like, well, I mean, it's not 100% that Claire or that Peyton planted those. No, I'm glad Solomon is vindicated.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that as much as I love Peyton as a villain, I'm glad she's dead. She's too broken. At this point, there is no recovery for her.
I mean, I think she could have definitely gone into, like, some kind of institution or something. But for the purposes of the movie, it is quite satisfying to have her killed at the end. I mean, she takes a life, right? She takes Marlene's life for just finding out about her. Not that anybody in the film really has none of them really deserve to die, right? Least of all Claire. But,
I'm surprised she didn't kill the husband when that was her intention.
Yeah.
Did she still think she was going to be able to win him over and
I
leave
don't
him
know.
more broken?
I think she might have thought he was dead. Because he kind of just lays there. So I think she might think that he is, and then, but I don't know, because she breaks the light as though, like, to leave him in darkness and to put the light bulbs on the stair. I don't know. But I think she was just going to bounce with the kids. It was just like, I'm going to kill Claire and then I'm going to leave with the kids. Or even, if she couldn't kill Claire, I think she was just going to leave with the kids in general. Which, again, I mean, what's your plan? You don't have money. If you leave the parents alive, they're going to be, like, looking for the children, and they know who you are, so it's like...
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah, it's a great ending. Very thrilling movie.
Well...
we'll see what the remake is.
If you want to see something absolutely insane, I'm sure most of you have seen this, but if for some reason you haven't seen this, definitely look up Ernie Hudson right now. At the age of 80 years old. It will blow your mind.
Like, that guy just didn't age.
It's wild.
He looks awesome.
Look at him at the Ghostbusters premiere, the most recent one, Afterlife or whatever. He's 78 at that premiere. Dude looks like he's 50.
Yeah, he looks great.
It's
definitely took
unreal.
Great care of himself.
He's definitely one of the rare exceptions where I'm like, people are like, oh, he looks really great for his age. He looks 30 years younger or whatever. And I'm always like, no, they don't. Yes, he does. He literally, if he told me he was 50, I would be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, he looks awesome. So
incredible.
We were like having fun looking at pictures of him.
So yeah, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, the remake. We'll see. I don't know what to expect from this thing. I don't either. I really hope it is wildly different. I don't want it to just be this story. I'm not a fan of remakes doing the same story. I don't see the point. But some people are like, it's a tough one. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. We're going to see what it ends up being. But Micah Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, wonderful casting there. And I am curious. I have my assumptions. I am going to assume that they're going to flip it. I think that the mom is going to be the evil one this time. And that the babysitter is going to be the one who's having everything like pinned on.
What's that other movie that's coming out that has Sydney Sweeney in it? That feels very Hand That Rocks the Cradle as well. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That one also, it's not The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but
with Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah. That one feels like very
forget what it's called.
I mean, in the trailer, it's hard to tell in that trailer because it does feel like either one of them could be crazy. Like,
yes.
It sort of seems to lean a little bit more towards, like, the mom is a little bit more psycho, but I feel like, yeah, it could be maybe a misdirect in some ways. But yeah, anyway, we'll see what this remake is. And I like you. I think it would be smart of them to probably do a different story. And, you know, it'll be cool to see maybe some, like, homages to the original, of course, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Have Rebecca De Mornay show up as Peyton.
Oh my god, she's just there.
She's just there. She has like a scar.
Scary.
And
no, she's scary. Her eyes are freaky. That lady has those like intense light blue eyes that are like soulless. That just like peer into you.
Yeah. The movie ends with like the big showdown and then she just comes in and she's like, "Don't fuck with me, retards." And then just starts blasting them.
Okay. It's probably not going to happen, but we'll let you know if it
does. In our spoiler-free review, we're going to let you know.
We'll say, listen, that thing we said, it happens. Yeah. So you'll know if you watch this one, we'll say it happens or it didn't happen. And then everyone else will be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's that. We'll see you in the next one, which is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle Remake, Reimagining, 2025. Hand That Rocks the Cradle rules the world. Grogs, what do you think about that?
He thinks that the hand that feeds the chicken,
yeah,
that's the hand that rules the world.
Yeah.
You like chicken, buddy?
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.